Stars burn bright. Everything has changed between you and I was so apprehensive, but I don't know why. Baby, I'm ready for you to be by my side.
Here today with Kenny Ariu Lamb and UBC. So tell us a little about what's going on today.
We're hosting the event called Vancity Throwdown, and we have Mike Ross here to join us. It's basically an event that we want to promote the Redbull Battleground. We just want to promote it and, kind of hoping people would buy tickets and go there and watch. So that's like a 512 men tournament in Seattle downtown. And, there are a lot of big names, even Daigo is going, and we're trying to promote that.
So what's the turnout like today?
Turnout, little bit disappointed. It might be the storm, or might be different occasion like work and stuff, but it's not bad. It's not bad. I was expecting a little bit more, and maybe because of the venue, it's a little bit far or a little bit hard to get to. So that might be why we didn't get the expected numbers that we wanted.
Everyone's like having a great time. They're all really cool here.
Yes, they actually been supporting the Street Fighter scene for many years. I've been doing this for over 5 years, and it's always the same guys. So, we have some new faces, and I'm very happy.
How do you think we can encourage more new players to come and join these events?
I think they need to get out of their house and actually try to play people in person. They probably think it's the same as playing online, but honestly, if you're playing, sure, maybe it might be the same, the gameplay and everything, but you actually get to meet people, you get to make friends, and you can get better because people are sharing texts with each other, right? So I think that's different. And during a tournament, when you lose, it actually matters, but rather than online, it's like, oh, whatever, next game, right? So yeah, definitely come try it out.
So aside from Street Fighter 5, I know we have some other games people can play here today.
Yes, we have Blaze Blue anime games, Guilty Gear, and King of Fighters. Those have been the latest game, like the recent new big hits. So we have a big supporter scene in Vancouver here.
All right, sounds exciting. I'll definitely check those out. Thanks for the talk.
Thank you very much.
Make up on his shirt. You don't believe his stories. You know that there are lies. Bad as you are, stick around.
Hey Nathan. So what are you here to play today?
Street Fighter 5.
What do you think of the game so far, even though it's not like fully out?
It's pretty fun. There's a lot of controversial opinions about it, but if you don't overthink it and just play for what it is, it's really fun to play.
So what do you think of the local community?
The Vancouver scene, there's a lot of potential here, and I've learned a lot from the people here. There are some players that don't come out that I think should, but I guess they just don't want to play, they don't want to play, but overall there's a lot of potential, but right now it's kind of small, but it could grow a lot bigger still.
For those of you who don't know, Nathan's actually from Vancouver Island, so he actually took a ferry over here. Do you come to events often?
I come whenever they host like a monthly tournament, so I'll come to those, which is not always every month, sometimes it's longer, but I try to make the effort to come out because it's really fun.
Would you like to see more large-scale Capcom Pro Tour tournaments style here?
Oh, absolutely. That would be amazing, and it would definitely help the scene here, because right now it's just VSB, which is the life support for it. And since there's not a lot of commercial support behind them, the word doesn't get out to everyone. So something like a Capcom Pro Tour event, or even Redbull sponsoring this, is actually a really big thing.
Hey Eric.
Hey,
how are
Eric.
you today?
I'm good, how are you?
So what do you think of the event so far?
It's pretty cool, man. It's the first event that I've come to. It's on UBC campus, actually. That's not quite true. There used to be some events that would happen here on a weekly basis, but it was really cool, man. I was really excited when I found out that we were going to be getting one of the Redbull Proving Grounds things going on. There are a lot of them going on through America. It's awesome Redbull is doing this for the fighting game community. They've done so many awesome things for so many, the whole, they do the cliff jumping, they do the Redbull, they do parkour and free running and just all this badass stuff. And so it's cool that they kind of took a liking to Street Fighter too. And it's cool that Vancouver gets some of that love.
So you've been playing around the Vancouver scene for a while. What do you think of it so far? Do you think it's going to keep growing in the future? And what do you think it needs to keep growing in size? Because right now we have around 32 participants at this tournament.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting question. So coming from Toronto, the community here is definitely a little bit different. I want to say that the community in Toronto is maybe a little bit livelier, but not as friendly. Like Vancouver, everybody here is really like friends with each other. Everybody treats each other with respect, and everybody's like really nice. And you know, in Toronto, there definitely is that sense of camaraderie, but there's also like, you know, they're kind of like cliques and rivalries and shit talk, and you know, and that kind of stuff might not be like, you know, it might not look as good optically, but in terms of like making players hungry, I think there's definitely like a noticeable difference between the level of hunger with Vancouver players and the Toronto players. But I mean, you know, that said, look, there are a lot of great players out here. There are a lot of people who are like really trying really hard to win and trying really hard to improve their games and stuff. So I wouldn't take that away from them, but it's something that I notice. As far as the growth, I mean, Street Fighter V has been awesome for the growth of the community. You know, Capcom's really done a lot to try. I mean, the launch of the game was, yeah, it was like met with some criticism and stuff like that, but like they've tried to make the game a lot more accessible to newer players. Obviously, Kenny Air running the Vancouver Street Battle is a huge boon for it as well, right? Like, because we have like a local hub where people can come together and play at now. And in terms of growth, I mean, you know, I feel like we got to keep doing what we're doing. It's a very welcoming, very inviting community. So I guess it's just about getting the word out there, because I feel like once people show up, you know, they see how cool it is and they keep coming back.
So I'm with Jackson right now, and I couldn't help but notice that he has some pretty unique control pads right here. You want to tell us a little bit about them?
Yes, I've built prototype sticks out of shoe boxes. So I have one based on the hitbox layout, and one with a normal Mad Catz panel.
Or would you like to show us like what the wiring looks like on the inside?
This one in here has, well, it has some extra stuff in here, but it looks like that. It's a bunch of leftover parts that I have laying around.
Has this been always a hobby of yours to make your own control pads?
Yes. I've been curious about using a hitbox as a way of playing games. So rather than invest right away, I've built a prototype to see if I'm actually comfortable with it before going all in.
So why does this one have a plexiglass?
This one has plexiglass because I have some left over. It adds more support to the cardboard, plus it lets me mount directly to the plexiglass.
So what are some of the more unique setups you've seen so far, since the Street Fighter scene's been around for quite a long time?
Setups? Well, they're mostly hitboxes, gamepads, and sticks. Nothing too exotic that I've seen too far, like aside from like multiple buttons that you have for blinking.
What do you think of the keyboard?
The keyboard's fine. That's basically what the hitbox is. It's more or less a hit in a keyboard layout, except that on a normal hitbox, there's no up button up here. The up button's down here. But I wanted to have the up button like a normal keyboard, so I add the addition myself.
Yesterday, I know my kingdom awaits, and they've forgiven.
Hey CJ, so what do you think of your event so far?
It's good. It's nice to see a bunch of the Street Fighter guys come out, and some faces I don't even know. So I usually show up on the Saturdays to see, commentate a little bit, to play a little bit. And there are a lot of faces I haven't seen today. So it's good to know that there are people in the British Columbia scene that are willing to come out to events like this.
So what do you want to see in the future of Street Fighter V?
What do I want to see?
Yeah, what do you want to see, like how the game's going to like adapt and change in the future?
I think the way the game is played right now, it's a little sluggish. Maybe as they could, earlier they released a patch that made the frame delay a little bit less, make it more or less, find it more or less, and trying to return it to that more hammy kind of style setups, almost like 4, but with the damage of 5, make it crazy.
It wouldn't be a tournament in Vancouver if it wasn't raining. So if you can see behind me, it's actually pouring right now because of the storm. But I was actually quite surprised by the turnout today at Vancity Throwdown, hosted by VSB. It was really cool that Mike Ross would come up and interact with us as well and help showcase some of the events. A lot of the people were really cool. It's actually my first Street Fighter V tournament, so I hope to see more from them in the future, and I can't wait to see where this community goes. You know, I always think grassroots events like these are pretty cool because it's where the esports scene really got started. And here at Akshon Esports, we really enjoy supporting these events and doing coverage of them. And if you guys like to see more events like these in the future for all games, from Street Fighter to League to Dota 2, we're always there around the local community to film stuff. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Akshon Esports if you want to see more cool coverage like this. Bye.